I hope your day is full of toast and English muffins and bagels and croissants. Croissants. I just wanted an excuse to say croissants like a French bitch. Hi guys! It's another Wednesday. I'm here for another episode of Shenk. I'm your girl Shenk. If you're in Los Angeles tonight, that's Wednesday, what is today? The 9th? It's the 9th. Come out. I have a show tonight at the Hollywood Improv with Kimberly Congdon, Tim Dillon, Tiffany Haddish. The lineup's incredible. Fortune Feimster, Fahim Anwar. If you're in LA and you want to see a good show, this is the show to come out and see. And as always, I will be coming to Texas January 6th, 2023 for a live episode of This Bitch. We're going to be taking the podcast to Austin, Texas, and we're also going to be co-headlining on January 6th, 2023. Then on the 9th, we will be on Kill Tony, Kim and I. So that's what's up with next year, the beginning of next year. Also headed to Yuma, Arizona at the end of January. I believe it's January 27th, co-headlining with Kim Congdon there as well. And then we will be heading to Brea sometime in December. So look out for those dates as well. It will be a co-headlining show with Kim Congdon and I. And as soon as we have the confirmed date, again, it will be in December 2022. So we should know by the end of the week. Then you'll get more info on that. Okay. Also, for show dates, follow at Princess Shenk on Instagram, on Twitter. I post all my shows there. That's always where you can find your bitch, Shenk. Okay. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my Patreon, I recommend doing it. It's only $5 a month. You get bonus footage. You get thirst traps I don't post on Instagram. I do a monthly live stream. Actually, on Thursday, meaning tomorrow, I will be doing a live stream on my Patreon. I believe it's at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yeah, go check out my Patreon. It's just $5. You get ad-free content if you're a certified Shanksta and you want more of your girl. Okay. Should we get into this week's episode? I have questions from you guys. I've been really liking doing these solo podcasts. We'll see how long it lasts. I might eventually have a guest, but it's been kind of fun. I love connecting with you guys and checking in every week and seeing all you. I asked for questions, and let me tell you, questions is what I got. Questions are what I got for sure. Somebody asked me, do I have any holiday family strategies? Be nice. I go in stoned, not too stoned, because if I'm too stoned, my mom will be like, Sarah, how much weed did you smoke? And I don't feel like dealing with that during the holiday season this year, because I don't feel like looking at my mother's disappointed face. It's very obvious when she's disappointed. Nothing worse than the face of a disappointed mother. So I like to smoke just enough weed where she's not concerned. If I smoke too much or have an edible, she'll be like, what drugs are you on? And we'll have to be like, weed. And she'll be like, I don't like how high you get. It'll be a whole thing. So for me personally, when it comes to holiday family strategies, I get a little high. Not too high. If you get too high, you could also ruin the holiday. It's a very delicate dance, the holidays. I mean, I get high enough to where I can engage and talk about people's lives. I can feign interest about jobs I don't care about. I say, oh, wow, and tell me more about that promotion. I get high enough to not care if my sister gets dessert first, even though I'm 35 years old. I get high enough to where I can kind of like cross in and out of this dimension and dabble in other dimensions and then come back to the Thanksgiving dinner conversation. No, my holiday family strategies are this. Be nice, lead with an open heart. Was I planning on saying lead with an open heart? No. I mean, I'm really feeling myself. I got a little eat, pray, love. I'm not gonna lie. Lead with an open heart. Who the fuck am I? Is this a Hallmark commercial? Lead with an open heart. So yeah, holiday family strategies. 1, you're gonna want to lead with an open heart. 2, ask if you can help. Can I help you clean up is a nice gesture. If someone's cooking for you, show appreciation. Ask if you can bring a dish, okay? What I like to do is, right around the holidays, when I see my family, that's the day. Don't bite off more than you can chew during the holiday season, you know? You start seeing distant relatives, you're going to live in regret. You got to see the relatives, the primary relatives only. This is my strategy. Keep it short, keep it sweet. Don't bite off more than you can chew in terms of family, because you'll be making an appointment with your psychiatrist come December 26th. I bet December 26th psychiatrist phone numbers are okay, yes, for sure on December 26th, it's impossible to get a date with your psychiatrist. Okay, everyone wants to up their medication around the 26th, sweetie. Everyone's had a little too much. Maybe Uncle Jim did something he wasn't supposed to. Maybe Aunt Carol called your mom a bitch, and now you got to get over it. Call your psychiatrist. I bet the holiday season is the busiest time for people in psychiatry and psychology. The psych ward filled to the brim during the holiday season. Just people who bit off more than they could chew. People who agreed to make mincemeat pies and then regretted volunteering to make mincemeat pies. I don't even know what a mincemeat pie is. Is that like a holiday thing from a different time? I'm going to Google it. Mincemeat pies. One thing about me, I'm going to Google mincemeat pies. Okay, minced. What is a minced meat pie? Meat pie. Minced meat pie. It is a Christmas thing. Okay, a mince pie. Ugh. A mince pie is a sweet pie. It's a sweet pie of English origin. That makes sense. Sounds English. Would you like a mince meat pie? Would you like a little bite of my mince meat? Would you? Come here, Daddy. Have a bite of my mincemeat pie. Okay. Minced meat filling. What is it made of? Dude, what's in mincemeat is intense. Buckle up, guys. Maybe you already know, but I doubt you did. Because who's taking the time to look up what mincemeat pie filling is made of? Okay, here we go. Ready? Simmered apples. Apple cider, candied cherries, brown sugar, apricots, dried cherries, cranberries, currants, figs, orange zest, orange juice, golden raisins, schmaltz. What the fuck is schmaltz? That just took me in a different direction. We have to find out what schmaltz is. Schmaltz? You guys, you're not going to believe what the schmaltz is. Goose fat. Schmaltz? Why did Jews use schmaltz? As a Jew, I feel bad I didn't know about schmaltz. Schmaltz is incredibly delicious. The Jews have long used it to cook meats, but because it's so tasty, it's used as an all-purpose fat. Okay. I gotta be honest, like goose fat and currants and figs and raisins and schmaltz, apricots. It's like whatever's in your cabinet, that's what's going in the mincemeat pie. Okay, so you simmer apples, apple cider, candied cherries. What the fuck is a candied cherry? A sweeter cherry? Like a candied apple? Okay, so what you're telling me is you simmer apples, apple cider, candied cherries, brown sugar, apricots, dried cherries, cranberries, currants, figs, orange zest, orange juice, golden raisins, goose fat, aka schmaltz, allspice, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, cloves, and salt. I don't really love the direction the mincemeat pie is going. So let's check out the Wikipedia. mincemeat pie. The early mincemeat pie was known by several other names, including mutton pie, Christmas pie. All right. We took an interesting journey, I'll tell you that. Okay, so again, this holiday season, important to lead with an open heart. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. Ask people about themselves. I find that that's a good strategy. And get high, but not too high. Because if you get too high, you could ruin the holidays for your family. Get high enough, but so that you're pulling it off and you're able to answer questions and complete thoughts. This was the most insane question, and I can't wait to answer it. Somebody said, okay, would you take an offer to stay in a Malibu estate? You get to live there for free, but you have to take care of a chimpanzee. You have to bathe the chimpanzee. You have to wipe the chimp's ass. I'm out. Okay? Wasn't there a person who got the face eaten off by a chimp? I don't give a fuck. I could drive to Malibu now. It takes me about 15 minutes. I don't need to live in a free Malibu estate where I become the servant of a chimp. Everything's fine, and then one day I'm missing my nose because I wanted to live in Malibu rent-free. No. Biggest date fail? All of them. That was a quick subject change, but yeah, someone asked my biggest date fail. All of them, sweetie. Am I engaged? No. You think any of the dates went well? Obviously, they didn't. Someone wants to know, what's a better fragrance on a guy, fresh or spicy? It depends on the guy. Some guys, if they came with like a spicy fragrance, I'd be like, huh? You're not a spicy guy. You're trying to be sexy all of a sudden. You come in a little too sultry, a little too loud. You're like a vanilla guy, but you're wearing a spicy cologne. Get out of here. I don't want that energy. I want a spicy man and a spicy fragrance, but I don't want to be confused if there's a vanilla man and a spicy fragrance. Does that make sense? Because if you're wearing a spicy fragrance, listen, you better be fucking interesting. Don't come up into my space with a spicy fragrance and be boring, okay? That's misleading. The most interesting thing about you can never be your fragrance, but I do love a spicy scent on the right man. I think it just depends on your skin, too. What I do is, before I select a signature scent, I'll put a little tester on, wear it around for a day, and if I still like it, I'll go back and I'll buy it, and then you can get other people's opinions on it. People will compliment you if you smell good. You know what I mean? They'll go out of their way to compliment you if you smell good. If you wear it for a week and you get no compliments, it's not your scent, sweetie. Maybe you're more of a fresh guy. Well, another confusing thing would be a spicy man and a fresh scent. I want a spicy man and a spicy scent, and a fresh man and a fresh scent. And I wasn't planning on getting into scents, scent profiles for men. Okay. How did I choose comedy? What the fuck else was I gonna do? Get a real job, climb the corporate ladder, have a 401k? That's for losers. Catch me alone podcasting in my room, talking about how 401ks are for losers. This is, I'm an adult. Ask me anything. You guys certainly did ask me a lot of questions. I'll tell you that. Okay, my youngest memory, one of my youngest memories, I have a few, but one of my earliest memories was being at UCLA with my dad, because my dad went to UCLA and he took me there when I was a little kid to see the campus. And he got a Dr. Pepper, and he gave me a sip of it. It was my first Dr. Pepper. And that's a core memory, baby. You remember your first Dr. Pepper. It was a visceral experience. It was unlike any flavor profile I had ever had before. I took a sip. I said, this can't be legal. As a child, when you take Dr. Pepper for the first time, that shit will send you straight to the moon. You start dancing. You can't control it because you're high off that sugar. a little Dr. Pepper does the body right. That's one of my earliest memories, and it's a core memory because you remember your first Dr. Pepper as a kid, and if you don't, then you're a fucking loser. That's one of my earliest memories. Holiday Family Strategies, we went there. How Did I Choose Comedy? We went there, kind of. The Secret to Life and What's the Meaning of Life. Interesting that now we're getting philosophical here. We're asking me, a comedian, the meaning of life. All of a sudden I give an incredible speech. Like, you know when people give graduation speeches and you're like, damn, that was empowering and life-changing. Like, I wish I had something like that prepared, but I don't. So the meaning of life for me is to do what I love, spread joy, spread positivity, be around people that I love, and lead a life full of abundance, play, and happiness, joy. That's what I think. I think the meaning of life is just to make the best of what you have, no matter what. Even if it feels like some days you're like, dude, I don't have anything. You know? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I wish I didn't say that. I wish I could take it back. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. It's an okay phrase. I feel like it's overdone. You know, when life gives you limes, make a limeade. When life gives you mincemeat, make a pie. There we go. We tied it in, guys. We got there. Thoughts on MMA? Thoughts on MMA? What the fuck do I know about MMA? Thoughts on MMA? Yeah, I know about it. No, MMA, I've never done it. I've never rolled with anyone. I don't know much about jiu-jitsu, but I will tell you that all of my friends who are in MMA of some type, whether it be Tai Chi or jiu-jitsu, or those are the only two things I know. I don't know. Maybe there's more, but Tai Chi and jiu-jitsu, I believe, are both MMA. All of my friends who have found it and use it as an outlet have loved it. So I want to believe that there's something there in terms of it must be a great way to strength train and make you feel more confident in terms of being able to defend yourself if you need to, so like in that regard, I think it's cool. I think it's always good to have outlets that are healthy, so you don't just turn to heroin, you know? Like if MMA is going to keep you from shooting up, then fucking do it. If MMA is going to keep you from beating somebody up for no reason, then do it, you know? How did I choose comedy? Comedy chose me. I didn't choose comedy. No, I always knew I wanted to be a performer. I thought I wanted to be an actress, and then I took an acting class, and my acting teacher, I think I've covered this, but I'll just regroup I'll retell real quick. But my acting teacher made everybody write a monologue, but he specifically asked me to write a stand-up set because he thought I was funny naturally. And so I did, and that was the first time I ever did stand-up. And then I somehow got to the Comedy Store. I think I got to the Comedy Store through this like fucking asshole who I met through an extra job when I did the Muppets. I did like the Muppets movie and I was an extra on it, and they treated us like shit, and they kept calling Miss Piggy A-Team. They kept being like, Miss Piggy's A-Team. So just because you recognize her as being, you know, a lovable, iconic legend doesn't mean that you can go up to the puppets and touch them. They treated us like shit. They yelled at us for touching the Muppets or like not respecting them. They called them a national treasure. They said the Muppets are one of our last great national treasures. I remember because it was so insane and they were so over the top with it. And yeah, I was a background in a Muppet movie. And on that Muppet movie, I met this crazy motherfucker. Like batshit crazy, like balding at 20. You know the vibes. Doesn't mean that you're crazy, but this guy was. He had the hairline of an insane person, and he was insane. And we got stuck talking to each other because that's what happens when you're a background actor. All of the like subpar loser talent just I mean, it's not all subpar loser talent, but it's just like people who are just in the background, and you're there for like so long. You start feeling like you have to start communicating with these people when you're just like, it's like being locked in a room with a bunch of misunderstood people who think that they're actors, but they're mentally ill. Okay, so of course I'm there because I'm mentally ill and loving it, baby. And then I befriend this guy who's like, you got to do comedy. And then he takes me to the Comedy Store. I do a bringer show at the Comedy Store. And then I never left the Comedy Store. And I've never seen this man again. And that's how I got into comedy. And I also I want to just touch on this because it's fucking crazy. I'm going to touch on this briefly, but then I'm also going to talk about it like for a longer period of time on my podcast with Kim. So that's just what's up. But I need to tell you guys this. So I went to Wi Spa. You know Wi Spa? If you don't know Wi Spa is this Korean spa that's located in Koreatown in Los Angeles. Okay. For $30, you can go and you can use all of their rooms. They have a clay room. It's like a hot clay detox room with like these little clay balls, and you can just like go sweat in there, and it feels really nice and it's really calming. And there's all different rooms for like different saunas and different rooms and jacuzzis and cold plunges and cold saunas. Like it's a healing spa center. Okay. I go there with my friend Mel. I say, hey, let's heal ourselves on this Wednesday. I don't know if it was a Wednesday, but pretend it was for the story. So let's heal ourselves on this Friday. It was a Friday. And we're there. We're having a great time. We're in the spa. I'm in my bathing suit. Then out of nowhere, this intense lesbian woman comes up to me and goes, hey, you got to take your suit off. I say, I'm not taking off my bathing suit. I don't feel comfortable taking off my bathing suit. She says, well, if you don't take off your bathing suit, then you have to leave the spa. And she's really aggressive with me and really confrontational with me. And I say, well, get me the manager, send the manager over because I'm not comfortable taking off my bathing suit. Fine. I'm sitting in the spa, minding my own business. Next thing I know, the manager comes up. She starts telling me I have to be naked, otherwise I have to leave the spa. And I'm saying that doesn't make sense because it should be up to the person whose body it is, whether or not they want to be naked. And they're like, no, you have to be naked or you have to leave. And I said, okay, fine. If I leave, will you refund me? And they said, sure. So after I was there for already 4 hours, I get refunded because I'm not getting forced to get naked at a spa. I've never in my life heard this shit before. They said, yeah, it's the nature. It's a Korean spa. And I said, well, listen, we're not in fucking Korea. We're in Los Angeles. And it should be up to the person whether or not they want to take off their bathing suit. And I said, why can't I wear a bathing suit? And she said, for hygiene purposes. And I said, listen, bitch, it seems like it would be more hygienic for people to have a bathing suit on than just to be sitting in the jacuzzi with their pussies out in like the lukewarm water. Like, ew. What are you talking about? And I'm just like floored by it. If I had the time and the energy and the money, I would fucking sue Wi Spa for making me uncomfortable as fuck and telling me that I had to get naked. Is that insane? Isn't that not insane to tell someone that they have to get naked, and if they're not going to get naked, then they have to leave? I don't know. That's just what happened. I left them a review. Guys, if you know anyone at Wi Spa, let them know that they need to update their shit. Like, you can't have forced nudity at a spa. Okay? Like, if I wanted to have my tits out at the spa, I would. I didn't feel like it that day. Some days you feel like having your tits out. Some days you just want a bathing suit on. Isn't that allowed? Don't you think it should be up to the person? You shouldn't be forced. And the way that the lady came up to me and the way that she was aggressive was unlike anything I've ever seen, you guys. So, listen, I left a Yelp review. I'm not a Yelp review leaver either. But when you force me to get naked in the spa, listen, bitch, I'm leaving a Yelp review. Anyways, that took an interesting direction. And because it took an interesting direction, I'm going to sage. Sometimes you just got to spend a few minutes of your podcast saging. Clean out the vibes. Okay? Clean out the vibes. Woo! This, I know if you're just listening to the audio right now, I'm waving a wand of sage around, and I am getting rid of your bad energy. I'm getting rid of my bad energy. Cool, cool, cool. We all just saged ourselves. Fuck yeah. Aren't you guys glad you tune into this podcast every week? I do. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you about how I got forced to be naked at a spa. I'm going to tell you about how to survive the holidays. I'm going to tell you about mincemeat pie. No one knew. Nobody had any idea that schmaltz was in mincemeat pie till I did this podcast today. Now you know that schmaltz is goose fat. So someone also Googled, can Jews eat lard? Under the Jewish dietary laws of kosher, pigs, the source of lard, are forbidden food. Okay, but goose fat's fine, guys. Throw it in the mincemeat pie. Give me the schmaltz. Let's go. Schmaltz is such a funny word. I just wish I could use it for more things. It's a Yiddish word. We love Yiddish. Advice to 16-year-old me. This is a good question. Okay, so advice to 16-year-old me. Don't take everything so personally. Don't be so sensitive. You're strong. You're smarter than you realize. Don't be so obsessed with the way that you look. Just take care of yourself. Make sure you're flossing. Don't go a long time without going to the dentist. What other things would I tell my 16-year-old self? I would probably tell myself, okay, yeah, college, don't need it. I'm glad I went, I guess, because I'm educated and I can talk in complete sentences, and I think the social part of college was good for me, and the growing up part of college was good for me, but yeah, it's an adjustment. And then, so that's the pod. What else would I tell my 16-year-old self? I would say, stop wearing low-rise jeans, bitch. Or enjoy the low-rise jeans while you can, because in just 15 years, you're not going to be able to wear those low-rise jeans anymore, sweetie. You will, but no one will want to see it. Does that make sense? What else would I tell my 16-year-old self? Don't compare yourself to everyone else. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. You're on your own timeline. You're doing your own thing, and it's going to be okay. And it's fine if you don't want to be a lawyer and you don't want to be a doctor. Just keep following your creative pursuits, and it's going to pay off. That's what I would tell my 16-year-old self. I'd also tell my 16-year-old self, always be nice to everyone, which I am nice to everyone, and if someone's being a cunt to you, it's really it's about them more than it is about you, because it's so hard not to take things personally sometimes. All right, that's what I would tell my 16-year-old self. The secret to life. Someone asked me the meaning of life and then the secret to life. The secret to life is rest, exercise, fuck, pet dogs, take hikes, smell the flowers, love the people around you, love your family while they're here, stop and enjoy your surroundings. Don't take it for granted, because we only have one. Wow. I mean, am I an inspirational fucking speaker? No. I didn't start this podcast thinking I was going to spit out fire, but I did yet again. Here I am, just spitting fire. Another solo podcast. We covered schmaltz. We covered mincemeat. We covered holiday family strategies. We covered a lot, guys. And thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. I am having so much fun with this solo format, and so that's why I haven't had guests, but we'll see. We might tweak it. We might add a guest. It just depends. We'll see what the vibe is. If you're liking the podcast, leave a review. It just takes 1 second. That's how people can continue to find out about the show. Leave a review on Spotify, iTunes, or Apple. And make sure to subscribe to the YouTube. Tell your friends about it. New episodes of Shenk every Wednesday. And we just also updated the Shenk artwork. Actually, Young and Sick, the artist who did the album cover for This Bitch, updated my artwork. And I love it. So look out for that. That's coming soon. And again, if you're in Hollywood tonight, Wednesday the 9th, I'll be at the Improv. Great lineup. It's Fortune Feemster, Fahim Anwar, Tiffany Haddish, Kim Congdon, me, Tim Dillon. I mean, what else could you need? Beth Stelling, one of the great Beth Stellings on the show too. Come out, guys. It's one of the best shows you could probably see in Los Angeles, especially on a Wednesday. Come out, support live comedy. And then again, Kim and I will be coming to Brea in December. The actual date on that is going to be soon. It'll either be the beginning of December, the end of December. Not sure. We haven't fully locked in the date yet. And then January, coming to Texas, me and Kim Congdon on January 6th. We're doing This Bitch live. Plus, we're co-headlining at Vulcan Gas Co. together. So if you haven't seen our podcast live, it's so much fun. The show completely takes on a different energy when it's live. It's so fun to be a part of it. So if you're in Texas, come out. That's January 6th. 2023. It's a Friday, and then we're also doing a stand-up show that night as well. So Texas, and then the end of January, I believe January 27th, Kim and I will be in Yuma, Arizona. And then more dates, as always, on @Princess Shenk, Instagram and Twitter. And we'll see you next week on Shenk. Thank you, guys. Bye.